Hello everyone, and welcome back to tomorrow's weather today. Today we have another tropical update for you, as I've been doing most days on Tropical Storm Isaias, which is now north of the Dominican Republic with winds of 60 miles per hour and a pressure of 999. Looking at the track of this, I did not mean to go to pivotal weather, but looking at the track of this, you can see this large area of tropical storm force winds, the center just above the Dominican Republic, and now bringing it to the east of Florida and up the eastern coast, strengthening into a hurricane in the northern Bahamas. And it's only expected to get up to 75 miles per hour. It may get up to 75 miles per hour, it may not. It's something to keep an eye on if you are in the Bahamas. Eastern Florida also needs to be keeping an eye out for strong winds and possibly some storm surge and heavy rain as the storm comes to the east. It still could make some landfall. It's still possible, but right now guidance is showing that it's going to be off the coast. But basically anywhere from Florida all the way up to Maine need to be keeping an eye on this in the U.S. and parts of Canada. As this may be close enough to the coast to be giving some impacts into the eastern United States. Looking at the satellite, we can see a well-defined storm now right in here, moving off to the northeast. Actually, it's over here. And we were talking about shear the past few days, and you can't really see it, but you can definitely see the effects of the shear with the dry air over on the eastern side, the southeastern side or southwestern side. My bad. But it definitely now has a well-defined center of circulation in there, which is going to make this easier to track and on the models. Looking at water vapor. We can see northeasterly winds there. We can see the outflow expanding on all sides of the system, and our trough is in here, imparting the shear on the system. And you can see that in here. I made that a little smaller, but you can see that over here, as clouds are not, there's not as much moisture on this side. Looking at the intensity forecast, let's bring it up to a strong tropical storm. And if you do bring it up to Cat 1, I think it's going to be a weak to mid Cat 1 at best. Do I think this still may stay a tropical storm? I think that possibility is out there, but this could also be a high-end Cat 1. Looking at the GFS model, we can see our storm shown right here. And the GFS has actually done a pretty good job with this, keeping it off the coast of Florida. Even though it wasn't right with the intensity, it still got the track. It's still getting the track right. And the GFS does bring it into North Carolina and then up the coast, possibly into New England. Let's take the East Coast view of this, eastern U.S. Yeah, so it brings it into Cape Cod, and then into Canada. I did not expect to go to this view. But looking at, not that, I wanted to go to winds. Let's look at the pressure. Let's keep an eye on the pressure here. It's 999. It's going to be stronger than that at this point. We're looking for 64 knots right here. So we're looking for the pinks. I think it's a hurricane there, most likely. This is very interesting. This is very interesting to me, this storm. But yeah, the strongest winds do stay off the coast, luckily. But the Outer Banks and North Carolina really need to be watching out for a landfall here. But looking at the 250 millibar winds here, we will see that upper level trough right in here. There's our upper level trough affecting the storm right now. It's right here. Now there's one. Now it's right here. You can see that bend right there. It's very subtle, but it's there. At this point, the storm is moving off to the south, and the upper level flow is out of the southwest. You can see this trough coming into the plains here. This will you'll see that a jet starts to form. How that jet interacts with this storm is a question that remains to be answered. We can see that jet right here. Here's that trough, and here's that jet developing right here. Because this is moving in a more northerly direction, and the upper levels are aligned with the low levels, it could be more favorable to the system. Yet there still may be some shear on it. That is something to keep an eye on the GFS. Let's take an area sounding at this point right here. I'm just looking at the let me take a bigger one. So there you can see the change in the wind right there on 22 knots of shear and the dry air in the mid-levels. But going over to the European, so the European has a strong storm in the Bahamas. You can see that right here. But as we move it ahead, it actually weakens the storm. It's still very strong. It's off the coast of Florida, but it's weaker. Then it takes a big jump 24 hours. Definitely anywhere from Georgia, Florida, to Maine need to be keeping an eye on this, like I said earlier, as this can track into the states, or it could track just out to shore, or it could track a little farther out to shore. You can see that both the European and the GFS are showing signs of that. And here's that other storm that the GFS was showing, but this has it as an open wave. Yeah, it's an open wave. It's very interesting. And I want to just go over to the Weather Prediction Center really quickly. The 1 to 7 days, you can see how much rain is expected to fall. Anywhere from, in Florida, up to 10 inches of rain, and it could go all the way up to Jersey, of about 4 to 5 inches. So you can see heavy rain will be an impact, and definitely let's see, day 3. They don't have excessive rain. A little bit. I'm sure that will expand. Let's see where the Weather Prediction Center has this storm off the coast. You can see it right there. I'm assuming this is following the National Weather Service forecast. Yeah, NHC position. So you can actually see, I didn't want to do that. Even without Isaias here, there's a front that will be coming in, a low pressure system, which will be bringing rain either way. So overall, I think everybody on the East Coast and Eastern Pennsylvania and New York need to be keeping an eye on the system, as heavy rain and wind could be a problem for the entire coast. The track could still change a lot. If we go back to the cone is large up here. You can see anywhere from Jersey all the way out to sea, and if it does take this track, there probably won't be any impacts, which means most likely it would do something like this, so less impacts here and no impacts here. So that is it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a new video, and I will see you all tomorrow.